All right, here we go. Welcome back to OneTake tonight. He's Reese, I'm Dan. Producer Reese, how we feeling?
Feeling great, Dan.
Good to hear, man. Even on Tall Guy Week, I know this is a tough week for you, but we got a great show for the people. We got for the brand, hot takes. And first up, we have a surfer, San Franciscan, teacher, executive director of one of the coolest nonprofits in all of California, a recent award winner as well, the City Surf Project, and soon-to-be father, our friend, Johnny Irwin.
Thank you for having me.
Good to see you, Johnny. Hey, I know you got a lot on your plate right now, but I appreciate you taking a few minutes to chat with us. How are you, man?
I'm doing well, nervous, anxious, excited, but just happy to be here. Thanks for having me. And it's a good little way to take my mind away from what's about to come.
Let's start with the award that you all won recently. It was Nonprofit of the Year, or at least one of the Nonprofits of the Year, up in Sacramento. What was that honor like for you and the rest of your team there? You've been working on this project for 10 plus years here in the city of San Francisco, City Surf.
Yeah, it's an honor. We were awarded a Nonprofit of the Year by our assembly member, our representative, Matt Haney. It was District 17. And yeah, it's just it's good to get an accolade like that, a testament. We've been putting in a lot of effort the last 11 years. We have started surfing programs at a bunch of schools in San Francisco. We have a robust surfing program. It's not just a day at the beach when youth participate with us. It's a consistent year-round weekly program. So students participate and they get to surf every week all year long. And so we go out about 200 surfing days a year.
That's unbelievable.
Outings. Yeah, it's roughly about 4 or 5 days a week. So we're just trying to bring surfing to as many youth in San Francisco, especially youth that have never would have experienced it or haven't had the opportunity or haven't seen themselves really represented in surf culture historically. And yeah, to receive that award, it's a testament to the work that we've been putting in, that we've just been getting out there a bunch and a lot of visibility and just really putting our heads down and just trying to build bridges and bring surfing to as much of the community as we can. So feels good.
Well deserved. And I think that one of the cool things about the City Surf Project and in particular is the tangible outcomes and vision that you all have. Is some other projects can kind of get, what's the word I'm looking for here, producer Reese? You don't exactly see that connection to an outcome as quickly or as tangibly as you all have been able to put together. What's that day-to-day process like? I mean, 200 surf days per year, that's pretty unbelievable. You need to put together, partnerships with schools, partnerships, logistically getting all the equipment together, getting to the right places, making sure the surf conditions are decent. You get instructors. There's a lot on your plate. I know I just threw a lot at you, but what's tactically the logistics like as far as managing that chaos?
Yeah, well, I think it really all goes to our staff. We have coaches. We started off as volunteers, but we have a staff of coaches and program coordinators, and it all really goes back to them. They put in maximum effort in coordinating the surf outings, the equipment, the vans, and getting the youth, outreaching to the youth to come and pitch the program. I mean, a lot of the youth that we pitch surfing to, they look at us like we are absolutely nuts. You want to take us to cold water where there is sharks, and you want us to get in a wetsuit, jump in that water. We're not really feeling super comfortable swimming, and you want us to jump on a surfboard, stand up and ride that surfboard all the way to the shore. So we get met with a lot of crazy eyes. So it's really about
gotta be a little bit crazy to make a difference, man. Gotta be a little crazy.
Yeah, take a chance and bust out of your comfort zone. That's what it's about. It's about teaching those life skills, those learning moments of building confidence. It's cliche. I know it sounds cheesy, but life and surfing have a lot of similarities, a lot of analogies. You get knocked down off the surfboard, you got to get back up, persevere, get through the waves, get out the back, turn around, catch a wave, and do it again. And those are transferable skills to life, and that's what we
Right.
instill in our youth. And we have our 5 pillars. It's our mantras that we are teaching our youth every time that we're out there, and that we're instilling in them. And that's one, that's a respect for nature. It's, our coastlines are in peril, so you have to understand that we're as surfers, it's our job to protect it. And the second one is personal growth. Surfing is a hard sport. Life is hard. Life is challenging. It's going to throw a lot of shit your way, but you got to persevere. You got to keep growing. Get back on the surfboard. Put the wetsuit back on. Jump back in the cold water.
Let's go.
And you'll have success. And then third one of our 5 mantras is healthy lifestyles, healthy living. Your body is a temple, and you got to put good things in it. Surfing is exercise. Exercise is great for life, exactly, and makes you feel good. You don't need substances to make you feel good. Exercise makes you feel good. That's a release of natural endorphins. And then the fourth one is inclusion, and that's understanding that the beach is for everybody.
Yep.
It doesn't belong to any one of us. It belongs to all of us, and we're really turning what you think of as a typical surfer and trying to flip that on its head, and adding more diversity to surfing. And the fifth one is, this is what we discovered in the last year is sense of community. Over the last 11 years, we've worked with young people starting at 12 years old all the way to 24 years old with our leadership program. And what they've reported to us is that what they get is the surfing is great, but also just the sense of a community, a positive role model, adults and peers that are with them every week, that support them in their life, and give them resources and just help them throughout their life. And that's our fifth pillar is a sense of community that we added this year. And that's what we're instilling in our youth. We're really intentional about those things. And we're a youth development organization. We're developing youth, and our vehicle is surfing. And that's our vessel for really helping youth just grow into happy, healthy, successful adults.
Love that. Outstanding stuff. I could ask a million questions based off of just those 5 pillars there. I'm sure producer Reese's brain is spinning as far as different ways to go. Producer Reese, I'm going to throw it over to you. Why did you never get involved in the City Surf Project when you were a punk youth of San Francisco? What happened there?
You know what it was? I actually grew up with a neighbor who was part of the City Surf Project, but my
that
thing
right?
was, yeah.
You were a little too afraid to get in the water. You needed your floaties or something. I don't exactly know what happened there.
I get kind of rocked. One, I do get kind of rocked around the water, as you've seen in our dog surf videos. And two, I was an SF skate rat, proper street skate rat. So that was my thing. I never even surfed before. So yeah, it was definitely a big enough organization for me to hear about it. Even for one of my buddies to be in it. So
right,
yeah.
This is 7-8 years ago when you were a youngster. Now you're old.
Exactly.
What, Johnny, for you has been like, kind of what I was touching on earlier as far as it's I'm sure it's cool to see the progression and the growth and like getting people who haven't been to the ocean before out of their comfort zone and developing new habits and like new talents that they didn't necessarily have. In the Bay Area in particular, a lot of focus is on like scale. Have you thought about that as far as expansion? What would be the dream for City Surf Project moving forward? Do you want to stay in the Bay Area, or could there be City Surf projects down in LA or San Diego or other parts of the state of California? Curious on that.
Yeah, I think our goal is to stay hyper local within the Bay Area. There are other surfing organizations around California and around other parts of the country, and even worldwide. There's a whole surf therapy network called the International Surf Therapy Organizations, and they do awesome work. And we are trying to really build and scale in San Francisco. Our dream would be to have a surfing program at every school in the city, and that eventually turn into surf clubs, into surf teams. What we really want is to build surfing and to build the surfing culture. Like producer Reese said, surfing up until, I would say up until our program and before our program, for the youth in San Francisco, for many of them, like surfing was unheard of.
Right.
It just wasn't happening unless you were from a particular family, or unless you had got brought surfing to you. But it's not developed in the schools, and it's not really developed in the community. So we really want to see that change. We want to see it much more available to youth, and that's what we're trying to do, is help. How can we help that along? How can we help build it in schools so that the schools might take it on as a class, as a club, as a team? And yeah, I think we're really about trying to work with, at this point, not as many youth, but more consistently. We want to engage youth. Yeah, we want to engage youth so that they're getting the full experience and a really wholesome experience. It takes a lot to learn to surf.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not just part of it is like surfing is coming from the East Coast. I had gone a couple times in like Rhode Island area, but out in California, it's just difficult to know when to go, difficult to know what equipment to get. Then when you actually get out there, you paddle into a wave. It's like, you need to know where to stay in the break, not to get in people's way. Like, there's just so many things to take into consideration there. That's why I was curious about the scale and the logistics. But I admire you all for, I didn't even realize 200 days. That's pretty unbelievable. You guys are working hard out there in the mission.
Yeah, it's and it's not enough. We can go out all day every day, and that's what we found, is that we run out of days of the week. We run out of infrastructure capacity. So we're trying to add more coaches, get more vans, just build our infrastructure so we can serve more youth. There's so much need. Youth today, they're dealing with so much. You got social media and phones, and and you got trying to think about what your life is going to be like, and what your outlook of your life is, and what's the future look like for you. So a lot of stress.
I'm in my early 30s here. I'm still thinking about that, Johnny. I mean, it's like, come on, man. It's crazy times out here.
Exactly. and so, surfing, isn't going to solve all the answers, but it's certainly going to help your mental health. It's going to give you life skills, and you surf with us long enough and we'll eventually give you a job out of it. We have a junior coaching program where the kids that hang around long enough, we give them jobs, and they become our surf coaches, and now they're leading the program. And that's what we found, is just listening to the needs of what the youth are asking for. And really what they need is a solid job.
Going back to your point as far as investing local and investing in the community, and that goes a long way. Maybe that dovetails well into the Surf-a-thon, which is coming up the 21st. Mark your calendar, producer Reese. Ocean Beach, Stairway 17, is it, Johnny? I can't remember the stairway off the top of my head, but
that's correct.
See producer Reese out in his floaties on Stairway 17, June 21st. I got my fundraising team already, and we're cranking, me and my boy Henry, catching lefts.
Yeah, Catch and Lefts is a solid unit in our Surf-a-thon, always a solid team, represents hard. Yeah, I can't thank you enough. Danny Dials represents what it's all about in the Surf-a-thon in our community. It's really our City Surf Project it relies on the community. The community is our lifeblood. And when I say community, I mean supporters, volunteers, people that come to our events that just are supporting our mission, and people that just are helping us promote. That's how we run. We don't have a $1 million investor. We have a small amount of people in the community that support us with whatever they can. If that's a little bit, that's great. And everyone comes together and makes this happen because they understand that they understand the positivity of surfing. So Surf-a-thon is a yearly campaign. It's a fundraising campaign first and foremost. And our supporters start a pledge page, those that are willing. And it's like a walk-a-thon. So you'll go to your community with your pledge page and say, hey, Uncle Jimmy, Auntie Susie, I'm raising money for City Surf Project. This year, we're raising 75 scholarships to take 75 youth out surfing this summer for 1 week of surf camp. So it costs our program $1,000 to put one kid through surf camp for a week. And for that kid, this most likely is their first time getting in the ocean. This is their first time experiencing something like surfing, and it's mind-blowing. It's the best experience they'll have all summer long. And we want to do that for 75 youth. That's free of charge for those youth. We work with youth that, like I said, wouldn't normally get a chance to go surfing or may not be able to afford the high price of surf lessons. So for Surf-a-thon, we're raising $75K, and we're asking the community to start pledge pages. Send out those pledge. Yeah, Catching Lefts is a great example. Send out those pledge pages to your community through social media, emails, and then we'll hopefully meet our goal. And then on the 21st, have a celebration, a Surf-a-thon celebration down at Ocean Beach, Stairwell 17. We'll all paddle out together. Actually, this year, we have a special Surf-a-thon. We're teaming up with former SF Giant, Hunter Pence, also a CSP supporter, surfer.
Nice. Let's go.
With his program. Yeah, and maybe we can make a connection. He can be on the program sometime soon. And he has his program. It's called a Healthy Planet Project. And with the Healthy Planet Project, we're going to do a beach cleanup at the beginning of the Surf-a-thon in the morning around 9 o'clock. And then after that, we're all going to paddle out together and celebrate the Surf-a-thon, celebrate the pledges that we've made. And we have some prizes for the Surf-a-thon. We're going to be giving out prizes for best wipeout, longest ride, longest tandem ride we're also doing. And we have some other prizes that we're going to give out for those winners. And we'll have some raffles. And we'll have some food and just a good time, some games. And it's a good time celebrating City Surf Project, celebrating the Surf-a-thon. Oh, and it's International Surfing Day on the 21st, so celebrating surfing. So come out, even if you're not a surfer, you can still come out, participate in the beach cleanup, chill on the beach with us. If you are a surfer and you are able to come paddle out with us, share some waves, win some prizes. And Reese, even though you've never surfed before, that's our bread and butter. We got board wetsuits for you. We'll get you out there.
Love that.
That's what we do.
Producer Reese getting rocked. He brought his hat up.
Johnny Irwin, we appreciate your time, man. You're going to be, best of luck in the coming weeks, personally and professionally. I know you got a lot on your plate, but we appreciate your time. We'll see you out on the 21st for CSP Surf-a-thon. Johnny Irwin.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, man. Hot Takes is presented by Vantage. The future of combat sports is in 3 dimensions, and our friends at Vantage are leading the charge, partnering with some of the biggest local promotions from Gilbert Melendez Fight Night Series to local boxing in San Francisco. Vantage has what the people are looking for. Check them out at Vantage.VR on social media or in the Vision Pro App Store and see the team live this Saturday at Roccapulco in San Francisco, California for a night of amateur boxing. It's going to be electric. I'll be on the call. Tickets available at link in description. Producer Reese, let's talk about boxing. Pacquiao is back. How hyped are the people of the Philippines?
I'm sure, Dan, the people of the Philippines are hyped. Me, as a fellow Filipino myself, I don't know how to feel exactly. I mean, he's 46 years old. He's already left quite a legacy in the boxing community. I don't know when the last time he fought was, maybe a couple years ago. But I think the bigger question here is, why is he getting a title shot on his?
Because his name's Manny Pacquiao, and he's the greatest. Well, is he the greatest?
The greatest what?
He's the second best fighter of his generation and the biggest.
Mm-hmm. He had
one of the biggest draws in the history of boxing, undoubtedly.
Yeah,
and he looks damn good. I mean, he's 46 years old. He's training with Freddie. He's hitting the mitts. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's like,
is he still? Is he still training with Freddie? Is that his?
He's training with Freddie down the wild card. He fights July 19th.
Uh-huh.
I don't know the guy he's fighting. He's fighting at 147-pound title.
Yeah.
I mean, he still has that kind of like boyish electricity to him. Last time he fought, I think, was 2021.
Yeah.
I just remember when he knocked down Keith Thurman in 2019, the second round. He also took down Adrian the Problem Broner in 2019. Mm-hmm. That was kind of a hilarious fight. Adrian just at that point completely
I'm gonna have to clip in some of these highlights here. Yeah.
That was an interesting fight. And then
But at what point do you call it? Do you call it ends to your career? You know,
there is no dude. If you're Manny Pacquiao, there is no end to your career. That's what like. Have you seen the movie Mickey Rourke, the fighter? I mean, it's like it never leaves you, man. So I think it's actually kind of an interesting story. I mean, I've been talking about my comeback for the last 3-4 years. I'm gonna have to get back to the gridiron at 32. Yeah. Producer Reese says the UFC lost its juice. They got a big rematch this weekend. You got Merab Devashvili versus Sean O'Malley.
Yeah.
From 9 months ago.
Yeah.
Merab takes the title from Sean at 135 pounds at the Sphere. It wasn't that electric of a night. It wasn't that electric of a fight. Now, 9 months later, it feels like it was just yesterday, and now it's like I don't know.
What's your angle with the lost its juice though? What do you mean it's not as exciting? Is there they're not hyping it up like it's? I
think it might just be a function of me being old. Like it's an interesting. I think the quality of the product hasn't changed or diminished, but it's like it's funny when you're like 10 years old and you've only seen 2 big fights in your life, or like 2 Super Bowls in your life that you've actually watched, and like you remember those vividly. Like they're such a big deal.
Right.
And then when you get to, I mean, I'm not that old. I'm early 30s here, but now it's like, oh, another fight card, like another, like I don't remember the fights as well as when I first started watching them because I think there's just less on which to like build off of. Like if you asked me about like the first Chael Sonnen versus Anderson Silva fight in like 2010, I could tell you every single punch and counter that happened through 5 rounds of fighting.
No,
but now
I think there's something to be said about what you're saying, but I feel like we did grow up in 2 different generations of
100%.
Of watching
and
UFC,
you're in that because you're a bandwagoner. You were a beta dweeb until you met Danny Dials.
True.
And you never watched any, you were just hanging out and being a rat in San Francisco, starting trouble and not being particularly productive. But then you met me, got into the mentorship program. Now you're a dog out there and you've watched like 2 UFC cards. You don't even watch them live. You claim to be a UFC guy. Anywho, so you've only watched like one fight in your life. So you probably think this is a sweet fight. So
right. Well, relative to
it could just be a function of the quantity.
That is true. You may have seen so many fights in your life that Fight Night every weekend or the big UFC events that the numbered ones that happen are just not doing it for you no more. Me personally, I'm excited for what we got going on for the summer. Merab and Sugar Sean, like you said, we got Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier 3. Dustin's last fight, that's gonna be a banger. Hopefully, we got Ilia Topuria fighting Charles Oliveira. I'm excited.
Is it actually gonna be his last fight though? I mean, come on.
I don't know, man. The Diamond has a legacy, and I mean. Maybe this diamond does not shine no more. So we're gonna see. Knicks lose.
Those are great fights. Those are outstanding fights, man. I don't disagree with any of that. So.
Yeah. Well, I'll report back to you after the.
Maybe UFC has not lost its juice. I could be wrong there. The Knicks did lose.
The Knicks lost. Hate to see it, Dan. Talk about that, please. Tell me what happened.
It was a great season for my friends, the Knicks, and live reaction. I wasn't gonna bring this up, but they just fired their head coach like an hour ago. Before we recorded this. So that's like the most Knicks or just like loser franchise thing to do is like the Knicks haven't been to a conference finals in 25 years, haven't been to an NBA finals since the 90s, haven't won a title since the 70s. They've only won 2 titles ever and they're like, the Mecca, we're New York Knicks, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you just aren't that great of a franchise.
Right.
And this is why, because when you have some success, the guy that gets you there, you just throw him out. I mean, that's just
that sounds stupid.
Outrageous
Why would you
move.
do that? Why would you
lost
do
in 6 games to a better team.
I don't know if that justifies.
The Indiana Pacers there. I mean, they beat the injured Celtics, and it's just like, now you're going to fire your coach. What, are you just going to get somebody new? You're going to get some, like, up-and-comer former player. I guess that's, like, kind of the sexy thing to do in 2025 NBA or just 2025 coaching in general is to create a little buzz. Thibodeau's very much like an old-school guy. He's not that he's not particularly good-looking. He doesn't have a lot of swagger per se, but he's a damn good basketball coach.
Okay. All right.
So it's just a loser move, and that's what loser franchises, loser teams do.
Debacle.
So it's sad and you hate to see it. I'm rooting for the good, simple people of I mean, New York City is not very much a good, simple people type city, but the good, simple Knicks fans, we're praying for them.
Yeah. It sounds like a debacle. Yeah. Is that your finals prediction too, or is that like a totally separate thing?
What did that have to do with my finals prediction, producer? The
Okay.
finals is Oklahoma City versus. Oh, did I have finals on the list? I don't remember.
Yeah,
No,
you
I didn't even have it on there. Did I have it on there?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I wrote finals prediction. Paul George stinks.
Yeah.
That's funny, man. I cracked myself up with some of my notes. I got to include more of those. The Oklahoma City Thunder versus Indiana Pacers. Hey, I'm happy. Those are some good simple people cities. The good
Okay.
simple people of Indianapolis, good
Yeah.
simple people of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. They're got to be hyped. I mean, they got to be excited. Credit to them. Neither team has ever won an NBA Finals ever.
Oh wow. Okay. All right.
I think they've both been to one finals in their respective franchise history. If
Yeah.
I recall,
Yeah.
2012, the Thunder went to the finals, and I think the only finals the Pacers have ever been in, might have to fact check me here, producer Reese, is 2000.
Okay.
I don't think they went to any in the 90s, none in the 80s, none in the 70s. So, fun fact about Danny Dials, I could name every NBA champion from like the 50s onward, but topic for a different day.
That's a legend.
Paul George, very unlikable. I have never been a fan. I don't think he's that great of a player. People like hype him up, and he was basically like he got over traded from both franchises. One in like 2015 and one like 2019 or something. So they like basically used him to like build great teams
Okay.
by fleecing the people that they traded him to, and the Clippers and the I guess technically the Pacers. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Not the biggest fan of him, but he's a great player.
Okay.
But he spends too much of his time, podcasting like schmoes like me. I do got to get to Open Gym in about 2 hours, so I'd take him one-on-one if he wants to go anytime.
Yeah.
I'm sure that'd be a good match. I'd probably score 2 or 3 buckets on him. No doubt about it.
Nice. Yeah. Get him over at the Y, man. Yeah.
Magnus Carlsen clip.
Yeah. I was hoping
It was funny. It was funny. It was making the rounds on Twitter.
It was such a random clip, dude. I don't know. I mean, just imagine sitting there for 4 hours, playing this.
Chess
game.
is hot in the streets now. I had an online chess phase 2018. I was playing pretty hard. Bullet chess, 1 minute and 3 minute rounds. My understanding is that like to lose one match in chess isn't that big of a deal because sometimes it's like losing a basketball game.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess this was like some sort of championship, and then the fact that the crowd didn't know how to react after that was quite funny. They like panned over, and
I guess this is unusual for chess players to react or crash out like that, as the kids would say.
Yeah, Magnus is very much. I mean, he's probably my age, maybe a few years older, mid-30s.
Yeah.
And he's just been a total savant. I remember he beat, I think it was like Gary Kasparov when he was like, maybe 20 years ago.
Damn.
And Gary Kasparov was like the greatest chess player of all time, like the early 2000s.
And what Magnus was a
this
kid.
like Magnus was a kid.
Yeah.
And he like came in and beat the Russian goat.
Yeah.
If I recall correctly, might have to fact check me there. But ever since then, he's been kind of like this, like the it boy of chess for the last 20 years.
Yeah, you
and
think he'd be
a bit of an iconoclast to the basic chess establishment.
Right.
So
right.
this was kind of funny. This was maybe not a passing of the guard. I don't know anything about this young gun, but this kid, it was like maybe a similar situation because this kid was like, I think he was still a teenager. I think he was 19.
Yeah.
Who beat Magnus and
Didn't know that. Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, you would have thought he'd
Interesting
be more composed in his reaction, but yeah, that's why.
No, disagree, dude. I think it's a great reaction. I think that's good for chess. I mean, dude, chess, dude. If I lose to chess against like one of my buddies, I am like we don't talk for like
Really?
2 or 3 days. I have a couple of chess matches from my youth that I'm still upset about.
Oh wow.
And I was never that great at chess. It's just
Yeah.
there's something to be said about it. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
chess and Monopoly. Fucking my buddy Brendan, when we were still like 12 years old, used to beat me in Monopoly. Actually, even younger. Brendan was good at Monopoly. I was not as good. Brendan was good at chess too, but
I'm too dumb for chess. But anyway, journalist of the month,
Motherfucker.
Pablo Torre. Dan, talk
Pablo
about
Torre, yeah. I mean, this have to be a new award that we give out on a monthly cadence. Pablo Torre, you got journalists that are risking their lives around the world, reporting on wars, reporting on a lot of hard-hitting news. You got guys like us in San Francisco who are risking life and limb out of the hill bomb, giving the people first-hand news, I should say. And you got Pablo Torre, who's dedicating his life, dedicating the last months of his existence to investigating the love life of the greatest head coach in the history of head coaches in the National Football League in Bill Belichick. And it's just outstanding journalism. I mean, this is like it's a very important story and should get more attention. The fact that he's leading the charge there, it's just great leadership. So credit to him, man. Journalist of the month, Pablo Torre, definitely an important story and definitely something that we need more outstanding journalism on his front.
I love that angle, Dan. Thank you. Yeah.
It's kind of sad that the fact that he's digging in so much to a couple's story, it's just weird. It's just, I couldn't imagine doing something like that. Like, imagine if I was just...
It sounds like an obsession.
Snoop.
Like
it's really weird.
Yeah, an unhealthy obsession.
You're just like, what do you do? You're snooping around. He like had some clip where he's snooping around on Jordan Hudson being at a Patriots game 4 years ago.
That's so weird. Yeah.
And he was bragging about like digging through these old files. He's like, I had to like dig through these old files and like get the clip of her like in the stands. Like, bro, you're just a weirdo. Like, why are you bragging about this? This is some weird stuff.
If he wasn't a journalist, it would like, it would be super fucking creepy, dude. Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to steel man it, I guess. I think it's just trying to shame Bill Belichick. That's what it is. That's what I don't like the angle of it, or just.
I don't think he'll be successful in doing so.
I don't understand the impetus to try and do that, but what do I know? For the brand. For the brand, producer Reese, what do we got?
It's intern season, Dan. What do we got going on?
We have no interns. We have no infrastructure. I'm just trying to keep the lights on here. Next question.
Alrighty. Electric weekend in SF. Talk about it, man. What happened?
Fun one, La Festa. We saw our friend Tony Gemignani. We got the Pizza Bible. I'm going to get off camera and grab the Pizza Bible here real quick. I don't know if you can still hear my audio.
Yeah.
I'm going to lose it. I should have had this prepared, but I mean, dude, look at this thing. This thing's electric. They had them. They were selling them at the table there.
Yeah.
Personal signature from Tony to our friend. Does Tony know my name? I am pretty sure he doesn't. Does he know that my name is Dan? I don't think so, but that's okay. I can be the OneTake media guy. I'm fine with that. That's
he knows producer Reese though. That's all.
He does know producer Reese. He's asking about his guy, producer Reese. We got to have Tony on the show. That's one thing that I did pitch him on. I had a couple ideas for him. We'd love to have Tony on OneTake tonight. Talk pizza, talk the game, and I've been studying up, man. I've been looking at the Pizza Bible.
Let's get him on this summer, dude. Yeah, let's make it happen.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to. He's probably gonna just grill me about the fact that I don't pay you enough. He's been advocating for a raise for you, but I don't know. He doesn't know what your salary is. So it's pretty healthy, Tony. Let's just be, as well as in employee stock options.
I signed an NDA. I can't.
It's pretty healthy salary that producer Reese is making these days. So
yeah.
The mean streets of Stockton. Look at all that new equipment he's got. You think that stuff pays for itself? I mean, come on.
Doesn't grow on trees. I'll tell you that.
Doesn't grow on trees. Yeah. So it was a great weekend. Yeah. So La Festa was awesome. Saw our boy John Rico, actually at Union Street Festival, a little bit later, and the weekend Saturday flew. It was chaos in the streets. Tony was tossing pizzas around. Will we be out at Pizza Bagel Fest potentially?
Yeah.
But
love it.
Highlight was getting that Pizza Bible, man. That's a outstanding coffee table book. If you need a coffee table book, Pizza Bibles.
Let's go.
Right up your alley.
Producer Reese versus Aaron rivalry. I don't know who this.
I got a new guy. I got a new drinking buddy in the marina. Shout out Aaron. He's a bit of a short king.
Is he? Huh.
He's not as short as young Reese, but he's a bit of a short king. He's got.
Okay.
He's got some interesting energy. I feel like you guys would hate each other, which is hilarious.
Yeah. Okay. What makes you say that?
it could be a rivalry. I feel like you guys wouldn't like each other.
Yeah, I mean, how did you meet Aaron, dude? I don't know. Is he like one?
We were just out drinking at Balboa Cafe one night. I think I can't remember exactly where or when it was. Maybe a few months back.
Okay. All right.
And now we drink in the marina sometimes. So I did get him a lobster tea, because I was super late and I was like, just looking to support Lobster Tea. Shout out Lobster Tea. Outstanding work this weekend. Had a good chat with our friend Caroline.
Let's go.
The proprietor there. Wife of our other friend Tavis.
Missed opportunity for me.
They do an outstanding job.
Yeah, I should have worn mine today, man, on the episode. Yeah.
We should have worn our lobster tees. That's facts, man. Yeah. Dang, we'll have to get that next time.
Yeah.
I have a bunch in the closet over there, and I may have. Yeah, I bought like 3, so I just wanted to kind of get a few. Credit to me.
Dan, happy Tall Guy Week, by the way. Almost forgot to mention.
Thank you, man.
6'3". It is your day today. So
today's 6'3". We'll release this 6'4", and it's a good week. I know it's a tough week for the short kings of the world, but
We had our week. It's your turn now. So
You had 5'1" to 5'7"
I don't know.
last month.
Probably just a 5'4", to be honest. I think that's like proper short king territory right
Short
there.
king half week.
Yeah.
I think 5'5" is still in the short king space. Thanks for joining this episode of OneTake tonight. We'll see you for the next one.